Alright, so for honors physics, this is problem number 20 from your homework. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'll get you started. So for part A, our elevator is going to be moving at constant speed. Turns out it doesn't matter which direction we're going in. Either way, we're going to get the same result. So our net force is going to be equal to, I went ahead and I picked up to be the positive for this problem. And so that means we're going to have our force of our scale minus our force due to gravity, and that's going to be equal to the mass times the acceleration, and if we're moving at a constant speed, we're not accelerating. That's going to equal 0. So if we're moving at a constant speed, solving this equation, we can find that our force of our scale will equal our force due to gravity, which, as we said today, was going to be your mass times the gravitational constant. In this problem, if you look at example problem 2, you find that the mass is 75 kilograms. So that times 9.8 will tell you what the scale would read. Alright, so let's get rid of that. For the next problem, we're going to be moving upward at 2 meters per second. So what that's going to do is that's going to change our acceleration. Hold on, we'll see if we can get this. This isn't working. Okay. B, there we go. Okay, so here our net force, again, will be equal to, alright, everybody can see what Tarun just emailed me. So it's going to equal the force of the scale. Again, because we're moving up, I'm going to choose up to be positive. So force of the scale minus the force due to gravity, and this will equal a mass times an acceleration. Now we have an acceleration. So our goal is to solve for the force on the scale, add both force of gravity to both sides. So plus mass times acceleration. Here your force due to gravity, always, 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 is your mass times your gravitational constant. And I personally like to put things in factored form. You don't have to though. But that's going to be mass times the gravitational constant plus the acceleration. When we plug our numbers in there, that's going to be the 75 kilograms times 9.8 plus the acceleration that your elevator is traveling at, which is 2.0 meters per second squared. Plug that in the calculator, you'll find the force on the scale. Alright. Next step, part number C. Here, because we're moving downward, I'm going to change what is positive. It really helps a lot if you will make positive the direction you're traveling in. Okay, so here we have our force total, or our force net, is going to equal, in this case now, it's our force due to gravity is the positive thing. Our force of the scale is our negative. It's going to equal a mass times the acceleration. Of course, our acceleration will be 2 once again. So when we solve for our force on the scale, that will equal the force due to gravity minus the mass times acceleration, or mg minus ma. Or mass times g minus a, which of course gives us 75 times 9.8 minus 2. Alright, now that's as far as I'm going to go for you on this problem. If you have any questions, send me an email or ask me in class.